Now let's bring in the National Commissioner for Refugees, Migrants and Displaced Persons, Tijjani Ahmed. Thank you very much for joining us on Newsnight. Well, ensuring the clearing of drainages to prevent this situation from happening again. I think that is the fundamental issue here, based on your findings.
No, at all. I think the fundamental issue is the breaking of the Alao dams, which generated all these issues that we are now facing. So therefore, what I am trying to say is that aside the breaking of the Alao dam, at least there's also the need to clear the drainages. Because once there is a seemingly passage of water, certainly it will reduce this kind of havoc that we are now facing in Maiduguri.
Well, like they say, I mean, failing to plan is planning to fail. On the issue of Alao Dam, I mean, based on what our reporter Ferdinand Roja just said, there were indications that the structural integrity of that dam, was, somewhat questionable, but not much seemed to have been done to prevent that, dam from breaking. But let's talk about the succor that you're bringing to this affected people. What kind of interventions really are you bringing to them specifically? And in terms of accessibility, that seems to be a challenge. How are you reaching the most affected?
Oh, you see, I was in Maiduguri 2 days ago, along with the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I saw the situations there. It's not that one cannot access Maiduguri. But however, whatever the challenges is, at least we will do the best that we could to ensure that we reach out to the affected individuals. Maybe you have seen over the television 2 days ago, we were there with the affected individuals that were being camped.
But it's not enough to just be there, to have these photo ops and the optics. In terms of real life impacting measures to be put in place, not only to prevent this situation, now we have the situation on our hands.
Yeah.
How are you, coming up with strategies to, just give them some kind of comfort?
First and foremost is to provide with food items.
Are you providing that?
Yeah. I assure you that by tomorrow, this time, our food will have reached Maiduguri to provide succor for the affected individuals there. And not only food, because you cannot provide only food, we have to also provide other items. That is why in my press conference this morning, I informed the public that the National Commissions for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons are taking not only food items, but also other non-food items, such as the blanket, such as the mattresses, just to cushion the effect of the affected individuals.
Do you think the states are doing enough? Because, I mean, it's not just Borno State that's impacted by this.
No.
More states are, we're told will be affected. Bayelsa is already, coming under the waters. What measures should the state governments be putting in place, especially with the issue of funding, ecological funding? We hear that, I mean, to a large extent, they're just being used as slush funds.
I don't want to speak on behalf of the governors of the various states. But what I can say is that I know the governors are making some effort to ensure that this issue is being taken care of.
What kind of efforts are you seeing on their part?
Of course, when you talk about the Maiduguri, everybody knows in this country that Governor Zulum is one of the governors that is always with his people and is making sure that nothing affects his people. So this thing has come just as a sudden issue. But I know that His Excellency, the governor, has been trying a lot to ensure that issues like this never arise in Borno State. But you cannot tell. But I know all the governors are doing their best.
So what exactly is the extent of your work at the Refugee, Commission?
Of course, the National Commissions for Refugees is not the first line responder. First line of responder is the NEMA for at least 2 weeks, after which we now take over. Because theirs is just an emergency, while our own is durable.
What challenges are you facing so far in providing some kind of help for these people?
No, for now, nothing, absolutely.
No challenges
we have
whatsoever?
The food, we have the food items available, and we're taking them. And by tomorrow, I'm sure most of these items will reach my Maiduguri.
Is your commission, National Refugees Commission, is it funded by the state or?
No, it's a federal agency.
Right.
Responsible for care, support of the refugees, migrants, and internally displaced persons. And then our action is durable, not emergency.
Right. So what are those durable measures that you actually have
like take
in
for
place
instance now,
to respond to these emergencies?
After NEMA might have settled the affected victims, then National Commission for Refugees will now come in by way of providing shelter. This is durable.
Right.
The shelter could be temporary, pending when the permanent shelters were taken care of, but we need to provide temporary shelters, of course, alongside with NEMA. And then we also to provide food items all through the period they will be in the camp.
Well, these measures seem to be more reactive than proactive. If people had been moved from the lowlands to the highlands, maybe the level of devastation would not have been felt. Why are you not intervening at that level in terms of moving them first before the floods come in?
Well, that's why I said
right.
NEMA are the first respondent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Makes sense. We'll have to leave it there. Tijjani Ahmed, Federal Commissioner, National Refugees Commission, Migrants and Displaced Persons. Thank you very much for joining us on Newsnight.